Welcome to day 280 of the 300 Movie Challenge. Today we watched the highest grossing film of September 2017, which was It.
The most I know is like the summary, the Nostalgia Critic reviews, and I listened to this movie. But that's it.
Because you're a weakling.
I don't like jump scare horror movies. I'm fine with psychological horror, but this is not that.
I mean, okay, so I agree in concept. But here's the thing. Maybe I'm just a horrible person. But most of the jump scares I thought were kind of funny.
Yeah, I didn't really get scared by most of the jump.
Like, the music and, like, the presentation was like, ooh, it's scary, but, like, I was more just like, this is kind of nuts, and it's, like, kind of great.
One scene I'm thinking, well, there were two scenes that I'm thinking of. One is when, like, the kid, I forget all their names already, but, like, the kid with the pills or whatever, he drops the pills in front of the house, and then you just see the hand, and it's supposed to be scary, but upon seeing the hand, you know what's coming.
Yeah.
So then when they show the guy, and then when he's chasing the kid and stuff, it kind of looks really
kind of silly, yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
and then the other thing I'm thinking about is when, like, the kid looked over in the forest and he saw the clown, like, peeking out of the trees.
Oh, yeah.
And he was just waving, like, a rubber arm.
Yeah.
What?
Well, it was supposed to be, like, someone's severed arm, but it was, like, you know, silly looking.
It wiggled a little too much.
Wiggly woo. But, and, like, again, I'm not saying that's bad, because, like, some of it is kind of interesting. Like, though I like the painting thing, I like that as, like, a creative kind of interesting thing. But, yeah, like, just all of it's just funny, because, like, it's funny. I don't know, like, I find this movie kind of funny, which, it's just weird, because, you know, again, it's presented as, like, it's scary, but, like, I don't know, and it's like, is that a bad thing?
I mean, it is a clown.
Yeah.
So maybe it's actually a good thing?
I don't know, because again, I was not scared by this. Like, there was some moments where, like, the tension is good and I guess scary, but especially after early on when I'm like, thinking, like, these scenes are actually kind of funny. Like, that kind of lost the tension for me in a sense, because I'm like, I know this is going to build into something that's going to be kind of funny. But, like, again, I wouldn't say that's a bad thing, though, because then I kind of treated this as, like, kind of a funny movie, which is, again, really weird to say, but
a horror comedy.
I get kind of. Again, it's like, I don't know.
Yes, yeah.
Because, like, I'm trying to okay. I'm trying to. Of course, my mind. I'm comparing this to The Ring, right? As like, you know, an objectively good like horror movie that you might not like because of what it is, right? And so I'm like, The Ring was like actually like really intense and like, I don't know if scary is the right word, but like, you know.
I guess the thing is that for The Ring, it was more of the mystery behind it and everything.
Yeah.
Well, here, you kind of already know who this guy is, kind of.
Yeah, I mean, we all know the story, at least to some degree. Well, and that's also the other thing, because, like, The Ring, there were scary moments or whatever, but they were, like, involved in the story, where here it's very much like, we are going to have a scene for a scary moment, right?
Yeah.
And it's not related to this story pretty much at all, besides just the fact that, oh, yeah, now there's a reason the kids have seen them, right? Like, that's it. So, but again, like, it's just different. It's because it's like, I know that they're doing this just for a scary scene. I mean, then again, it's not even, I don't think it's really scary. But, like, again, it's like, it doesn't mean I didn't like the scenes. They were kind of, like, entertaining and kind of weird, and, like, that was kind of neat. So it's like, I really trying to think of how I would compare this to The Ring, because they're very, very different.
I don't know if you can compare them if,
Well, again, I'm trying to think then, like, how do I rank it, right?
I don't even know where I'm gonna put it based on the sound effects and... Okay, like, the kids are decent actors.
Yeah.
I was pretty convinced by them, hearing them, so that's one thing.
Yeah, they actually look and talk like 13-year-olds. So.
Oh my god, like, I heard so many swear words and I was like, this is like pretty accurate to
Yep.
how like tweens talk, but
Yeah.
what if one of these children had never sworn before and
I
they
highly
were
doubt
cast
that.
in this movie?
I don't think if they were cast in this movie, I don't think.
Yeah.
One of them said a Sam Jackson line, like motherfucker, and I was like, whoa. That's so intense. Okay.
Yeah.
That's it. I think it actually, like, I guess, unlike The Ring, like you mentioned, Valen, how a lot of the scenes were, like, purposely scary and stuff. But I
Mhm.
guess, which I agree with that. But the difference also between this and The Ring, I guess, is the fact that you actually see the kids' normal lives, and it takes place over a relatively long period of time in terms of like horror movies. Because
Mhm.
think about it, most horror movies take place within like at least maybe a night and at most maybe a week
Yeah.
before everyone's like dead.
Yeah.
Oh
I
yeah,
mean,
it's just like the whole summer, right?
Yeah.
well, at least like a good amount of it. Yeah.
There was like a good amount of it, and you saw like one scene I'm thinking of that I actually kind of enjoyed, quote unquote, was the rock throwing scene. 'Cause it's
Oh.
like, this is not what I expected to see in a
Well, yes.
horror.
So, right, because that's the other thing. There are some scenes that kind of come out of nowhere, but again, like the movie, even the scary scenes kind of come, again, the quote unquote scary scenes kind of come out of nowhere. So it's like, at first I was like, this feels like tonally off, but I'm like, it kind of doesn't though.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was
Yeah.
that, and then also like when they just start like, you know, there's the blood in the bathroom, and they're like, oh, let's clean it up, and then there's this like song like we're cleaning, and it's like,
Yeah, that was
again, it's like kind of silly, but like that's what it is. So I don't know, a very I like it, but I don't know to what degree and kind of how I would compare this.
Yeah.
It's odd.
I agree with you on that.
Because I could totally see like an argument, like I could argue to someone that I'm like, yeah, like it's good, but it's like doesn't really, you know, it's I'm kind of meh on it. Or I could honestly see myself arguing that I really like this, and I'm like, where do I fall? Like actually fall? It's just it's hard to say. Okay, there's one legitimate complaint that I have.
Uh-huh.
A lot of scenes are really dark, and you can't tell what you're
don't
looking
really
at.
see what's happening.
Yeah, and I get that, like, you know, oh, it's like building tension for like the scare or whatever, but it's like, it's some of those scenes where I know based on how the shot is framed and like all that other kind of stuff around it, where like we are supposed to be able to see something like in the background, right?
Yeah.
And I just can't see what we're supposed to be looking at. So there's a few things like, well, actually more than a few. There was decent, especially like all in the sewer, where there's a lot of times where it's like I really cannot tell what's going on. So like that is a legitimate issue. But besides that, yeah, again, it's just kind of how much I can't really think of anything that I'd say is like wrong with it. For what it is, right? I guess, you know, you could expect or want something different, which, you know, okay, fine. If anything, the stuff that's like the most like actually creepy is the parents. Cause like, good
the
lord.
Parents are pretty creepy. The bully was also, the bully was also pretty creepy. I did not expect him to like carve an H on the guy's stomach.
Yeah, well, I guess that's one thing that's actually kind of interesting, because I've seen the reviews of both the original and this for Nostalgia Critic, and like I remember that like where for the bully that like he mentioned that his friends were even kind of like, whoa dude, you're like fucked up, right? And so like that was the thing where I was like oh yeah, that was the thing, because I remember he actually like starts carving his name in, and the other guy's like, whoa, what the fuck are you doing? Like they thought he was kidding, right? And so and like how he like asked them to like get the cat or whatever, and the guy's like, okay, and it's like, it's just like, you know, it's just kind of it's interesting. And then of course the whole thing is that it's like, you know, his dad's like fucking abusive as hell, you know. There's that. And then of course, like, okay, something I did not remember or even know if that was mentioned at all was with fucking Beverly's dad. Like, holy shit.
Yeah, that was so creepy.
That was the most like actually terrifying thing in the movie. God damn. Okay, so yeah, and yeah, so there's that, which I don't really know how to talk about that, and I guess if there's anything else, I'm trying to think, like, at some points the music is kind of weird, where it's like too much.
I feel like the soundtrack was the thing that was the most off at some points.
Right, because it's like too much.
Yeah. It was too much, or it just felt completely out of place sometimes.
Yeah. But again, it's like, that kind of fits sometimes for it being out of place, but this is really weird to talk about. I'm really gonna have to think about this in terms of, like, how do I really think about this? Where do I place this on the ranking? It's definitely a positive, and it's not even, like, a slightly positive, but again, I'm not... I don't know. Man, this was weird. Which I guess is kind of fitting, considering what it is, but...
Yeah. It is, huh?
How many times did we say the word "it" in this discussion?
Take
a shot every time we say "it," and you'll die. What else? Let's see. Oh, well, I guess we should also mention that the sequel is coming out later this year.
This year.
I actually I made a typo where I put September 2019, which is coincidentally is actually when it's coming out.
And I might want to go see it. I kind of might want to see it now. Like, I don't know, just because it's just. See, I don't know. Like, I could see. I don't know if they're gonna take the same kind of angle, because again, I think part of the reason why maybe this is the kind of mood through this is because it's kids.
Yeah.
Right.
I think that's probably what it is, but I think that's actually a pretty good thing. So it might like set the tone differently from when they're adults, and maybe when they're adults it's actually like very tense and gripping. I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know. I'm curious. So
I just hope that they grow up to be good parents that actually protect their kids from the it.
Yeah.
As opposed to all these parents.
Wait, did any of them have children in the time skip? Do you remember?
Just from what I remember of the miniseries, I don't think so.
That's okay.
I mean, that's also understandable.
Yeah.
I don't want my children to get eaten by a clown spider monster.
Actually, well, speaking of that, we kind of didn't see that.
No, we didn't see the spider monster.
No, we saw.
Wait, yeah. Are you supposed to see it when they're children or when they're adults?
Well, I know that it's when they're adults. At least again, in terms of the miniseries, that was the big reveal of the spider in all of its glory, was as adults in the climax. But I thought there was at least some sort of half reveal. I don't know, but anyway, yeah, because all we see is mouth kind of extending at points, and we see when Beverly gets taken and he inside his mouth are the lights or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Which I know is a thing, but I don't really know how that's supposed to work. But anyway, but that's kind of it. I mean, again, you see him getting, contorting his body and weird stuff happening with that, but you don't see there's the very end where his head kind of peels away in a weird way, but not really. I don't know what that was. Again, it felt are they trying to show something there, but I couldn't see it, so it's
yeah.
But yeah, so I don't know, but I am actually curious to see the sequel. I don't know if I'm going to maybe go in to see it in theaters, but I am curious to see it.
Especially if they change the tone.
Right,
to,
if they change the tone to be actually scary, I don't want to see that in theaters. So.
You'll shat your pants.
Yeah, but yeah, so color me intrigued, I guess. But I don't know. Taro, did you expect this in terms of going into it?
Not particularly. I thought it would be more like The Ring and stuff, especially since I had never seen the original. Did either of you? I know Maya never saw the original.
No, I never saw the actual. I just saw reviews of it. So
yeah, same.
So, given the fact that I had known that a lot of people got traumatized from the original, I was like, this should probably be more like The Ring or something. Thanks, Sora. That was Sora scratching the back of the laptop. Not a purposely scary sound. But yeah. This was not the tone exactly I was thinking of, but in a way I'm also kind of glad that this was the tone.
Yeah, I don't think you expected to come away from this thinking, like, I actually enjoyed that? Question mark? I mean, there's a question mark maybe at the end of that sentence, but still, I don't know.
I think more so the question mark is the fact that I enjoyed it, but not as a horror movie.
Yeah, exactly. I didn't expect that either.
It's like a question mark, not as a horror movie, as opposed to, yeah, I liked it as a horror movie, like with the ring
Right.
and whatnot.
Yeah, I was entertained by this, which is not what I would have expected at all. But even if I liked it, I didn't expect it because of that reason. So,
You know what the sad thing is?
what?
Huh?
Despite the fact that it's supposed to be geared towards being like the funny horror, this is definitely being ranked much higher than any of the what are they called?
Oh, scary movies.
Yeah, the
Oh, well,
scary.
easily, yeah.
Yeah, I'm just like, but for being like a funny horror,
Yeah.
of all things.
Yeah, well, they didn't have the science aliens holding them back. Oh, God.
Can
Well,
you imagine if someone was scared of the science aliens?
I mean, there's probably, again, look, okay, I've heard that at least for the miniseries with people being scared, and even for, like, science people being scared, because they saw it when they were, like, young kids. And it's like,
Yeah.
well, then, yeah, if you see, like, aliens or whatever, and because, again, when you're a dumb kid, you see, like, you know, you hear, like, the doom noise, and it's like, oh, it's a scary, right? You know, so, yeah, but, anyway, I don't know, is there anything else to talk about this?
Not really.
I wouldn't know.
Well, I guess did you expect that to be our reaction to this?
Oh,
good point.
I guess just kind of from what I was like listening to, I think I did watch part of the like cliff diving scene where they were at the watering hole,
Uh-huh.
and I was like, why are they all wearing the same underwear? I mean, I guess it's the 80s, but they kind of looked like diapers.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is a good way to do a remake because, like, we kind of have a very rough idea of what the original tone was, and then they're kind of utilizing the fact that they're children,
Mhm.
and, like, Pennywise is a clown, so I guess it is appropriate to introduce some of the comical aspects, even though maybe, like, I didn't visually see it, but I definitely, like, heard it in, like, the dialogue and the soundtrack at times.
Well,
So,
I guess we're so far 3 for 3 with good movies in a row.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I guess.
minus you because of you. But well, okay, next up is actually kind of similar to this in the fact that it is a sequel to something that was originally in the 80s that a lot of people really liked.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And
Right.
let me put it this way. I remember how I said that when we talked about Spider-Man Homecoming, how like we talked about like what films we like were really interested in, and how that was one of Mai's that she picked.
Mm-hmm.
This upcoming one is one of the ones that I picked. Now that said, since we had that discussion that we kind of picked movies, now I'm a little unsure, and I'll talk about that when we get to that. And yeah, I'll see if that, you know, the unsureness is founded or not. I might, again, maybe I'm just way overthinking things or whatever. So, but we'll see how that goes. It's probably not going to be terrible, so that's, you know, something. But
Yeah.
hopefully
Yeah.
it's a Sora thwack. Sora's been
Sora
very
certified.
Sora's been very
it's,
rowdy.
It's Sorified.
Oh my god.
That was lame. That was lame. You're lame.
I know, it's
I hope
fine.
you get.
Val, just be glad that she's laughing during a horror movie discussion.
No, you got to do the Tim Curry laugh.
I can't. You do it. I can't do it.
What?
There we go.
Okay, that's one thing. I wish that he like tried to do something like that. Like at one point.
The
just-
waha.
yeah, it was so fucking funny. Oh my god. Okay. There. Okay, 0 out of 10. This movie sucks now. There was no waha.
On that disappointing note, good night.
Ooh boy.